Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I will be starting a series that I just kind of had the idea of after I saw how well my last video did, and that is the Road to GM series. Now, as you saw in my last video, I just hit Masters, and now I want to try to make a series of showing my journey to Grandmasters. Hopefully I can get there eventually. But yeah, as you see, we just starting off right away into the gameplay, starting off on Circuit Royale, take this lovely rotation to this high ground, able to get some good damage onto the Orisa, keep my Sigma alive, and we're able to run over their tank and just win that fight nice and early. And kind of what I want these videos to be, it's, talking about my gameplay, talking about mistakes I've made, showing you guys the mistakes that I make, kind of like how I can learn from that, how you can learn from that. But then also showing, some of the good things I do as well, just talking through everything. And then, especially in this video, I kind of want to talk about what I want this series to be. I kind of just explained what I want this series to be, but you get the gist. But as you can see right there, that's one of those moments where I'm able to play really, really aggressive because of this character's kit. I'm able to play this very deep cover, and as soon as I get pressured out, I'm able to TP back. And what that allows to happen is, the Orisa, has to use cooldowns on me, walk to me to force me off that off angle, or if it's not the Orisa, one of their players has to. And those cooldowns invested, those resources invested, that actually matters a lot going into the fight. If you can get their enemy Orisa to start the fight without their jab, or without their jab spin, both those cooldowns are pretty big, and, if they don't have them at the start of the fight, it's already an advantage going into the next one. And that is why you can find so much value on this character, just simply because of her TP. And as you see, I do it once again. I'm taking very, very aggressive off angle. I mean, look how far back the card is, but I'm able to play here because just like that, I hit my left shift, and I'm out of any danger. Now, I think I made a mistake here. I think I should have either tried to Kitsu my Sigma, keep him alive with extra healing, or maybe even throw a Suzu up at him. I just wasn't confident that he was close enough to the wall to where I could hit it off the wall and keep him alive. And I also didn't know what type of movement he would do midair, so I didn't want to waste my Suzu and find no value out of it. But looking back at it, probably a Hail Mary Suzu could have been a good tool to maybe try to keep my Sig alive there, keep the pressure up. But we've gotten the payload very far, and we still have 4 minutes left, so this game is still looking very good. And right here, I noticed this Sojourn's trying to take this off angle, so I'm walking with my Sig, trying to force her off, and you see, just like that, she has to slide off the off angle, get the Genji to come on me. This was weird. I'll pause what I just said there. I thought the Genji, so that was Nano Blade, I thought the Genji dashed on me, so I was waiting for Dash Knight TP'd out. But that first hit he did damage on me, you guys can go watch it back, that was actually just a left click, that wasn't his dash yet. So he was able to dash at me, and I kind of TP'd towards my teammate, which is unfortunate. This fight we just got ran over with Orbit, not much we could do there. But going back to the Blade, yeah, and I just try to throw a Kitsu down so maybe my team could, salvage something after I died. Didn't run and die with Kitsu, essentially was what that was. But yeah, I got run over with Orbit, but then we caught their Sojourn sleeping a little, was able to force her off, put her team under a lot of pressure for that. And as you can see now, they just ran through us with Orbit. We actually run through them with, I don't think, investing a single ult, maybe 1 or 2, if I missed the voice line. But now this game, you'll see it. I'm just trying to keep my Sigma up, Can't really heal my Asher because my Sigma's taking so much damage. Decide to actually Kitsu to get that healing output that I needed to get him, back to not critical health. So I learned from that mistake I made earlier in the game of, my Sigma's half health. He can take a lot of burst damage with the Orisa jab, just like if he gets hit by it. So let me just Kitsu now, give me that extra healing output, and keep him up and, make sure we secure this fight. But now we take a lot of space here. Here's another awkward moment. My Genji's like, let's go in. I'm so for it. I'm like, let's do it, Genji. Let's go in. So I'm crouching on this corner, looking to see who I can find, and bam, there's a rock in my face. And I'm just dead. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I was really supposed to do there. But that was just a funny moment. It was just like, okay, well, rock in my face. I don't know what to do. Here we go. Once again, me and my Genji playing very aggressively. We like that, he misses his rock there, able to get that out. Already 50 to our next Kitsu, so it's looking very good here. And I think, yeah, there we go. Once again, me and my Genji going on their Ana. Just very aggressive play styles from both of us. And you'll see that he keeps that aggression up even when we are playing defense. And I love when I'm able to play with aggressive DPS like this, an aggressive Tracer, an aggressive Genji. Just really able to disrupt the enemy backline and stuff like that. And you'll also see in this game, I have 2 sort of like play styles. This game is a lot more of my heal heavy playstyle. You know, playing with a Sigma, playing with really good teammates, that's a game where I kind of want to let my teammates thrive, you know. That poor Ana just could not keep her up, even through Nano, even with my healing. Just really unlucky. But I noticed that this is a game where I want to let my teammates thrive. My teammates can find the value that they need to for us to win this game. So for me to find my value, if I just can keep my teammates alive, that's all the value you need to find. Hit a nice headshot on the Genji there. So once again, me and my Genji are going. I kind of lose him here for a second, but I find him, and then I make another mistake here. I just don't respect the Soj enough. I didn't see that she had a fully charged rail, and I actually die from it. But that's all fine because my it doesn't show in the kill feed, or it already happened. But my Genji was able to get a couple with Blade. You know, my Sigma still has Gravitic Flux. I still have my Kitchen Rush. So really just able to take control of this end of the game here and able to full push. Yeah, because like what I was saying earlier, I really have these two kind of play styles. So I'm playing with a heavy brawl tank or a poke tank that I know is taking a lot of damage. You know, my teammates are very good. They're doing what I need them to do. You know, I can play to just keep them alive, and that's how I can win games. But if I'm noticing we're playing with a dive team, especially a Doom, a Wrecking Ball, maybe even a Monkey, time to time, I'm going to play much more damage-heavy gameplay. I'm going to play, you know, a lot more for flanking, or just any game where I notice my DPS aren't holding their own, or, you know, my tank just needs a little bit more help with pressuring the backline. Those are the games where you'll see me have a lot higher damage numbers. But this is a game where really the name of the game was to keep my Sig alive. And this moment's really awkward. I actually misclicked my TP. Did not mean to click that. I think as I was getting my pinky off of control, because I was crouching behind the little cover from their Kiri on the off angle. As I was getting my pinky off of control, I like tapped my left shift and accidentally TP. I play with a very sensitive keyboard, so you know, like I play with the Arctis Pro from Steel Series. So any like, I have it set to like any, you know, tap of the key makes it go, and or like, you know, puts the input into the computer, and that allows me to have really smooth movement and stuff, I feel. But as you see, it hindered me there a little bit as I just TP to my tank mid-fight for no reason, which is just an absolute throw. Have to use my Kitsu here. We use Nano as well to combat the Orbit. But I think even though they didn't have their tank up, there's no risk in trying to let them cap here. You know, we have the ults, might as well use them. We got an Orbit as well, as you know, is one of the strongest ults in the game. It's been nerfed pretty heavy over the past half year, but it is still very, very strong. And now we're just trying to clean up, find as many staggers as we can. You know, every single other person we kill, just, you know, takes more time to respawn. And I thought my Sig was close enough to the wall to get that Suzu to hit him. He was not, unfortunately. Can't wall climb that, apparently. So, you know, we're still learning things. Even though we're in Masters, I only have around 400 hours in comp. So we're still learning things. You know, we're still improving every day. And you guys are going to see a lot of mistakes in these gameplays, but I'm here to highlight this. You know, this series is about highlighting these mistakes and how we can all learn from them. Once again, I'm going to play on that staircase a little bit longer. Actually bait the Gravitic Flux. Not my intention, but we'll take it. But yeah, since I have my TP, I know I'm able to play that cover a little bit longer, and then TP to my Ana to go to the cover that she's behind. Now they Kitsu. We should kite a little bit, but my Genji uses Dragon Blade, is able to kill the Soj on the off angle. Dies from the Sig, unfortunately. There's the Dragon Blade in response, and we probably just fall over here. Try to 1v1 the Kira for a little bit, you know, for shits and giggles. But once I realize I'm missing all my shots, I TP back to my Ana, and we stay alive now. Now I'm curious what you guys think about this play from my Genji. He says he goes in. Me and my Ashe, my Ana, none of us are expecting it. You know, we're all playing behind cover. We don't have our tank. He types in the chat, we have 4. Why didn't we go in? I don't think it's the right call. 5v5 is about tanks. The tank is broken. Everything is around playing the tanks. Yes, we had 4, but we are missing our Sig. So I just don't think it was worth it. I think it's much more important staying alive and keeping control of this high ground. Because so many times, you can see we did it, where you snowball that first point into taking this control of this high ground, and you just get massive, massive gains from it. There is actually the overclock from their Sojourn. The Suzu misses because of their Sig shield, which is very unfortunate. Once again, we link Nano and Kitsu. It's just unfortunate timing from both of us. Have to TP out away from the Genji, you know, try to clean up this Kiri here. I'll hit a shot one of these days, I promise, guys. But yeah, just a nice fight. Had to double support ult to win it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Once again, my Genji playing very, very aggressively. Love to see it. You know, I'm down there supporting him. And that's what's so good about you know, Kiri. I'll talk about her TP again. Not only is it great at getting out of places, it's great at supporting, you know, aggressive teammates, especially when you can get that double TP. You know, your tank is inting, TP in, Suzu TP out. That could be enough for that tank to win the int that he is doing. Suzu very late there, but you know, it is able to find the value that it needs to. The Bob comes out as well. I'm kind of going into caster mode here. I apologize for that. If you did not watch my 6 months video, I actually do cast for Ball State University, which is the college I go to. I cast Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends, a little bit of Rocket League as well. So I might accidentally transition into that mode for a second, just because I love casting so much. As you see, pretty easy fight there. You know, we're able to kill some people in their backline. Ash is able to clean up their Sigma. Once again, I'm really not doing too much. This isn't a game where I'm heavy flanking, you know, getting loads of damage. It's just a game where I'm keeping my Sigma alive, you know, time to time, healing my DPS, making sure they're okay. This is a game where I'm really letting my teammates thrive, and just keeping them up, and that's what works for this game. Every single game you queue in ranked, it's like a lock. Okay, and you need to find the correct key to unlock that lock, or, you know, to win that game. And the key for this game was just to simply stay alive and keep my teammates alive. As you see here, this is pretty awkward. So I noticed that Kiri, always down for a Kiri 1v1, get headshot, and the Suzu just doesn't go off before the missiles. Just a mistake I made. Had a Suzu a little bit earlier. I just didn't see the missile incoming. But unfortunately, unfortunately, they are able to cap second point in overtime. And they also switched into the Sombra, as you can see there. But now they only have 1:20 to full push. I'm feeling very confident here. Plus, we have Kitsu. I think we have Nano as well, if I'm not mistaken. Essentially, what I'm saying is we have good ults. Somehow yeah, I mean, that's pretty awkward. I wall climb up the plant. Takes me too long, and my auto dies behind me. That's really unfortunate. I believe she got Kiri headshotted. I have to fall off the high ground because we're losing too much space. Although my Ashe takes a great offing on that left side, finds a shot onto the back line, onto that Sojourn, and finds a shot onto the carry. So, you know, great stuff from my Ashe here. Who was very confident about the Ashe. She insta-selected it in hero bands, and she insta-selected it as soon as we loaded in the game. So you can see that confidence is paying off. And I'm going to play a little more aggressively here, just see if I can find a headshot on the Soj. I do. Take a lot of poke damage after Suzu. Luckily, my Sig has his shield, and there I Kitsu. They orbit and Gravitic Flux in response, and I just kind of get blown up, but I get Nano, TP into the back line, keep my Genji alive to try to kill the Juno, come back, rejoin the fight, help my tank win it now. You see my Ashe got headshotted by the Soj, but because I came back and helped my Sig, we were able to win the tank fight, and like I said earlier, 5v5 is a game of tanks. If you can help support your tank and kill their tank, that's what matters the most. Back up into a bit of a wall there. That pillar kind of juts out really awkwardly. As you see now, my Sombra kills too, and it's overtime. They're just gonna have desperate touches now. So this is kind of the point where we've won the game. And if you guys have made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. First off, if you liked it, please drop a like, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other montages. I have 3 or 4 montages. I enjoy posting those. I enjoy making those. So if you haven't watched those yet, you might as well check them out. But until next time, that'll be it. Thanks for watching my first episode of Road to Grandmaster.